girl, but she push it back. Best walk her out, not complaining. But tell she's afraid now. Just not like a tree. Look, I ain't want to tell you that. But me and she misbehaving. And you know I like it now. I think I love it now. Oh, this is how
Good morning, everybody. Yep, we're back at it again on this Monday, April 27th. And boy, like we were saying in our introduction this morning, it has been an eventful weekend. And, I thought, coming off of that wonderful event we had with Vaughan on Saturday at the, National Stadium, that would have dominated, social media, and we'll be raving about, how good of a time we had and all of that. But something else has been thrust sharply into the limelight. And of course, for those of you who were tuned in yesterday to iShow Speed's YouTube Live, and of course, he's doing a series of Caribbean tours, going from island to island. I think there's an itinerary out there. Went to Trinidad and of course made his way over to Grenada yesterday. Now we have what was called to be a life filled with showing off Grenada, showing up as Grenadians, and just highlighting all the beautiful things that makes Grenada unique. We are now into another conversation, and this morning we have Roseanne here from Flow, and it's basically to just bring us up to speed as to their involvement in yesterday's stream on YouTube, iShow Speed YouTube channel, and that's basically what we'll be talking about in this segment. All right. So for those of you here, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome inside, and just do me a favor and share it up. Let folks know we're about to delve into the conversation. Good morning, Roseanne.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Aruna.
Listen, put some more pep in your stuff because I saw you having a time of your life on Saturday. You were up front and center. I saw you.
Saw me?
Yes. We had a good time on Saturday. I saw you. So
I had a fantastic time. I mean, to segue, that was the best show I've been to for the entire year thus far.
And the year ain't even finished yet.
And the year hasn't finished as yet. And I can't wait for the one next year. That's how good it was. Yes, yeah. I had a great time. Wonderful. I spotted you.
Yeah.
I spotted you.
So here we are this morning, and like we said, I didn't realize the extent of, well, I've heard of iShow Speed. I wouldn't sit here and say I follow everything that he does. Mm-hmm. But I mean, once you're there on social media, you can't help but come across, the algorithms will show people up. And I've been privy to a couple of his lives and what have you. And his following seem to be pretty young people. Yeah. Young men, young women seem to just love his style of social media, doing as a content creator. But of course, like yesterday, like I said, he was here on island, and we were showing up and showing off this beautiful rock, showing off why we call this place home and all of that. And somewhere along the line, things kind of went away from what we thought it would be. But from a Flow perspective, maybe you can enlighten us. What were your involvement, and because when things happen, everybody point finger left, right, center. So what's going on?
Well, to be honest, I am learning as I go along. I'm getting the feedback as I go along in terms of the many perspectives. For Flow, we were just more than thrilled and happy to be a part of it. We supported them technically on the ground, providing them with the data services, the Wi-Fi connection where needed. I think it's important that people understand that this was very new to almost every sector and every person that's normally involved with productions for Grenada or having visitors for Grenada. And as you said, you didn't really know who it was. You may have come across him on social media every now and again. And I think that was the sentiment with a lot of persons within, the more mature age group, millennials, quite a few persons, It was mostly the parents of the young people who were there telling me, I don't understand. They have me out here running behind this guy. I don't even know who he is. So now they're getting familiar with his content and they're understanding who he is, what he does, his fascination with doing challenges, etc. So it was an eye-opening experience for everyone. We were just very proud and happy to support what took place. I mean, this was something where we went over 9 locations doing a live stream. And a live stream is very different from filming a video or an ad, because you're not just standing in one place or just
Or
walking.
live streaming from one
Yes.
specific location.
You're moving, you're on the road. So there is no Wi-Fi or internet when you're on the road. So you need to have broadband. And they showed us technology that you hear about, but it was really good to see it in play, using equipment that's able to merge different services. And obviously it was not only our service that was used. I think they had other connectivities with Starlink and other special equipment. But for us, we were the main ones at the different locations for their hardwire connectivity and for their data packages. And we were really, really happy to see that we were able to help him stream underwater. I mean, think about it. How are you able to do a live stream to millions across the world and show them our lovely sculpture park underwater? Which was a very big thing. If you go through all the comments, and so they're like, wow, there's a job underwater, so that's basically our angle, being involved with him. But as I said, it was just an eye-opener for almost everyone. I don't think anyone expected it to be as large as it was, to see people lining the streets, popping up at all the locations, So
I think that
it
is
was
the part
quite
that surprised
exciting.
me the most. I wasn't surprised by the numbers online, because I mean he
has
2
it.
million plus followers.
Yes.
He is that sort of YouTuber. He's that sort of content creator. So I wasn't surprised at the online presence, but I was more so surprised at the amount of people who seem to know him and follow him, and
Yeah.
the excitement on these young people's faces. Just seeing him in person, and the young men. Sometimes I used to say, celebrities or people like Grenadians, they don't bother. People will come, they'll walk about, go about their
And
business,
nobody
and
bothers
nobody
them.
bothers them.
Yeah.
But yesterday was the first time I've seen people actually starstruck, young men in awe, looking for autographs, looking for just to recognize them, and not only here, also in Trinidad. So it's not just like a Grenada thing. I was really, really surprised, because I started watching from Saturday, and I was really surprised when I saw the reaction of people towards this young man. And yes, so many people say, well, I don't get it. When I'm like, okay, because if you look at our age, we wouldn't get it.
We wouldn't
But
get it.
when you speak to them, they do.
This was everything. There were kids that were in tears. There were kids that were breaking all the rules. We're normally an orderly set of people, and it was just very interesting to see their reaction. I mean, it was very obvious the age group that he appeals to. There were many angry and distressed parents that were following along at the request of their kids. But I think overall it was really nice for them to at least see or meet the person that they idolize, or the person that they're interested in. I guess it's like for us seeing a movie star. This is their movie stars, because they're not even interested in movies anymore. They're more interested in the YouTubers, obviously. So it was a good experience for them, and seeing the reactions and so forth. I think it just opened everybody's eyes in terms of the power that is behind connectivity, the power of being able to stream, reaching millions across the world. I know there are a lot of questions and concerns about things that would have gone on. It's important to know that this is a collaborative effort. It's all done over a short period of time. When he said he was coming to the Caribbean, I believe is when they really started reaching out, because you have to remember with these live streamers, it's more about the content. So his real reactions, that's how he built his base. So the team around him may have an idea of what's going to happen, But for him, he's left in the dark. So you may have heard him asking questions, trying to understand, etc. But overall, I think we made a good account of ourselves. We were able to showcase quite a bit. There were some stops that they were unable to do because of the time, and other logistics. Murphy's Law. What will go wrong will go wrong.
Still go around.
But I really applaud the team that supported him because they were able to keep flowing. They were able to just roll with the punches and get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were a couple connectivity issues
Mm-hmm.
that I you could visibly saw he was upset about, because, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, when you're a streamer, you're not concerned about anything else except staying
Yes.
online, staying in
Being
real time,
connected.
being connected.
Yes.
And I realized that at a point in time, you could see he was visibly frustrated
Yes.
because
Yes.
kept asking, "Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we
Yes.
on?" But
And you're gonna notice that you had it in Trinidad, you had it in Grenada, you're gonna notice it all the time. That's his main focus. Are we connected? And I can proudly sit here and say that for Flow, we had a good account of ourselves, all where we were needed, we were able to provide. Yes, there was a situation where it had to go, where it went down, at one of the location. There are multiple factors that would have contributed to that, and I think some of it is still being investigated. A couple of times it was their equipment that was giving a little bit of trouble. But that's streaming. You got to be able to just adjust and be able to roll with the flow. So whilst you would have seen his real reactions, as I said, that's what it's built on. Afterwards, when speaking with him, from what I discussed with Akira, who was one of the co-producers, excuse me, representing Grenada, evidence of my good time this weekend. Yeah, in his feedback, he did enjoy Grenada. One of the things he said is that Grenada is pace, and he was enjoying the sculpture park so much they spent extra time there, which then affects when you do an agenda, when you do something that's time related, it affects other
affects
things.
the other
And of course, it would have drained a bit of his energy. For those of us who do swimming, scuba diving, snorkeling, what activities will take it out of you. So I think it was a combination of things. And for the connectivity, yes, there were multiple factors that were involved. But I'm still smiling. I'm still very, very proud to be able to do the streams over more than 5 locations. I think it was 12 in total to start, and we did 8 or 9 at the end. And to be able to keep that connectivity going while he is being transported from one place to the other, etc. Just being a part of that team. Because as I said, I can't sit here and tell you, oh well, this is all Flow. I can't do that.
Okay.
But I can speak to our support. It was a proud moment to be able to support something like that for Grenada.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not here for the entire morning. Just
Yeah.
wanted to give the folks a brief update. But someone here is talking about the service for the people in Willis. They say they've been experiencing that for some time. Is there any move to improve services in the Willis area?
So for things like this, I would really appreciate if I'm able to get more details. So we do have a digital team that is going to monitor, when you say you have an issue, etc. And I do know some persons come to me directly and they say, I spoke to somebody in the store, and so in order for me to give a specific response on Willis, I would have to at least be able to communicate with the team. So probably what you can do is reach out to me directly. My number, I think almost everybody knows it, is 4040009. You can always just shoot me a quick message, or you can reach out to our digital team, which is 407-3569. That's the WhatsApp group. You send them a message with your account number and that inquiry, and we'll be able to respond to you and let you know exactly what's happening within your area. Because we've been doing quite a bit of service throughout the island. We were able to get St. David's in a better place. And of course, when you say connectivity, I need to understand, are you talking about your internet or are you talking about the mobile? So I would love to get a bit more information just so I can see if I can get an answer directly to you.
Okay. So
as well as the
Natalia,
other person.
reach out to Roseanne, and of course you'll see how best we can assist you. Folks, no, this is not ladies' room. We're just having a different interview. We're going to talk more
No,
about
I'm
it.
not boring you today.
We're
I'm-
not in the ladies' room as yet. We're going to be there at 11. All right. Just having a different conversation with Roseanne. And I thought it best to, get many of you as possible to understand what their involvement yesterday and the role they played in the live stream yesterday. All right. So you can catch us at 11 and we'll go more in depth in terms of, what transpired over the weekend, etc. Anything else before we go, Roseanne?
Well, for those of you who are with us at Flow and those of you interested, we have a big promotion that's coming to a close this Thursday. So you have the opportunity of winning a large live TV. I said live TV, a smart TV. I'm still a little tired. Sorry. But we have a smart TV that will be given out to a lucky customer. And all you have to do is pay your bill on time and in full. If it is that you would have signed up for a service with us or you activated a plan during the period, it puts you in the pool. So it closes off April 30th. And then we do a live draw and you'll be able to see who the lucky winner is of that. And then we count down to Spice Mass.
Alrighty. Well, lots more coming up, I'm sure, as we get closer and closer to the best mass by far.
Best
Yeah,
mass
I
by
sure
far.
speech would have come
See?
here for Carnival and we'd have shown him Speed Man. Been here for Carnival to get the full experience. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
but
always the
yeah,
next time.
I mean, shout out to the Grenada Tourism Authority, to Akira Patterson, Go Grenada, which is Sarah Caroline Banfield. I think that was the core group that tried to put all of this together to, to assist him with his visit to Grenada. They may be the best persons to give more details, etc. But
Yeah.
shout out to them.
So
You
hopefully
know,
we can have a
we-
conversation with them as well. All right.
The rock is on the map.
All right. Thank you so very much, Roseanne.
Thank you.
And
for
enjoy the
having
rest of
me.
your
And
Monday.
Good day to everybody. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, that's just about it for now. Of course, you can catch me again at 11 for another live stream, of course, the ladies' room. And like I said, we'll go more in depth there. So you can catch us at 11 a.m. All righty. So see you then.